Hello there. My name is Alicia, aka Edmiston Creations, and I am a wife, mom, social worker, and athlete living in the mountains of South Central New Mexico. And this is a channel where I like to share a lot about the things that I've been knitting and sewing, a bit about what I've been up to with my family, as well as some general mental health and wellness practices that you may choose to implement in your own life. So if any of this sounds like something you might be interested in, then this is a place for you. And today I am not wearing any me-made items. I just finished working out, and so hashtag real life, this is Alicia today. If I'm not wearing me-made stuff, I typically am in workout gear. And I believe I've mentioned this before, but I took the Mindful Wardrobe Project course by So Liberated. It's an online class that just basically opens up your whole mind about discovering your own style and mindfully approaching your wardrobe in a very deliberate way. And in that course, I really like that Meg normalizes having fast fashion items in your wardrobe. I think that that's really important. I mean, as a maker myself and someone who, I really value supporting small businesses with the purchases that I make to make the garments that I cherish and wear often every day. I also really value the fast fashion items that I have acquired over the years and are well loved and worn. I mean, the purchase has already been made, and I might as well, wear the clothes that I have bought over the years. Hold on, I'm going to turn my little space heater off. It just gets really loud. But yeah, I really value the fast fashion items that I do have in my closet because, I have them and I plan to wear them and mend them to, keep them going, keep life in them for as long as I can. I mean, really, the big issue with consumerism, as I understand it, consumerism and fast fashion, is that it perpetuates this cycle of constantly buying more and then donating items and things ending up in a landfill. And that's what's really harmful to our planet. So if I have things that are, already made that I bought firsthand or from the store, or I bought them secondhand, as long as I have them, I may as well wear them until they're just totally worn out. And I mean, this is an item that I got from Dick's Sporting Goods. Actually, my husband bought it for me. I saw it and I really loved it one day whenever we were going in to buy a set of dumbbells, and he ended up going back and buying this for me for our anniversary. So it has a lot of meaning for me in that, he thought of me to go back and get it. It's also super warm and fuzzy, and it is cropped. I love that. It's great to work out in, and it's something that I can see holding on to and even passing down to my daughter whenever she's old enough to wear it. So yeah, I value having both me-made items and the fast fashion items in my wardrobe that I do have. So yeah, I think that both can have a place in our lives. So today I would like to share with you, I've been in full-on knitting mode for the past week. I did have a little bit of an existential crisis of, I want to sew all the things and make all the things and knit all the things and do all the things. And one of my good friends just kind of talked me off the ledge and it was a good reminder, for my own, inner monologue or whatever. Just to hear from my friend to say, hey, Alicia, you know what? If you just want to knit, it's okay. You don't have to make all the things. You do nothing. Be lazy. It's okay. And that was just such a powerful thing to hear, because that's something that I have to remind myself a lot. I don't know if any of you can relate to that or not. I feel like as a mom in a modern world, there's a lot of expectations that I should just be super mom and be able to do all the things. It doesn't help that I'm a very driven person, and that personality trait of mine serves me well in certain aspects of my life, but it also can, if I'm not careful and remain vigilant and aware of when that driven, achieving side of me shows up, and it shows up a lot. If I'm not mindful of that, I have to really, I can burn myself out. And so it was just really nice to have a good friend to tell me, Alicia, it's okay. If you make nothing at all, you still matter. And hey, here is life lesson number 1 of this. Just kidding. I don't have a bunch of life lessons for you today, but it is a good thing to surround yourself with supportive, caring people that know you and know what to say and how to say it when you need to hear it. So value those people in your life. There you go. And without further ado, let's dive into the knitting that I have been doing. So I posted earlier in the month that I had December must makes, and my December must makes are the Ochre Moss sweater by Andrea Mowry. It is a a bottom up sweater that is constructed with the sleeves. You make the sleeves first, and then you knit the body and attach the sleeves, and then knit the yoke and finish with your collar. So this is, I don't know if you can see with the glare. There we go. This is the Ochre Moss sweater by Andrea Mowry, and she picked really beautiful colors. She used Jill Draper Kingston in this project, and I did as well. These are my colors. This is Lucas Street, Jill Draper Lucas Street. So it's a very nice rusty orangey red. I don't know, is that a color? It's fantastic. That's what I'll say. So that's my main color. And then this is Fair Street, which is kind of a warm, how would I describe this? A warm beige, because it has the flecks of rust in it that I'm using as my main color. And so I finished both of my sleeves. Check these out. These sleeves were an absolute blast to knit. You can see the increases here on this side. It's very clean and polished. This is stranded colorwork knitting with some purling in it to create these little textured ridges along the way. And I love it. I knit these sleeves pretty much knit themselves. It was crazy. Like a day and a half, I was done with both of these sleeves. I think that's what kicked off my sleeve knitting era. Because I finished these and I was like, oh my God, I just want to knit some more sleeves. I mean, and who says that? Literally no one, but I said it like a week ago, and so here we are. I knit more sleeves. So before I show you my next set of sleeves, I did get to I finished the ribbing and I'm ready to start the body color work of Ochre Moss. And I'm really excited to add this one to my Me Made wardrobe. I mean, I just really feel like the Jill Draper Kingston yarn, I did purchase that yarn from Black Mountain Yarn Shop. And that yarn, I swear, is like my spirit animal. It's earthy, it's got depth with all these different colors and flecks of different colors that are unexpected. And I kind of feel like that fits my personality quite well. So I just love it. It's a joy to knit with, and it's a joy to wear. My Highline Henley, I used Jill Draper Kingston from Black Mountain Yarn Shop. And you can check my Ravelry project page to see that sweater, as well as get the details for it if you're interested. And also, last episode, I talked a lot more in detail about the Highline Henley. So that was must make number one. Now, I need to kind of clarify that my December must makes were not necessarily I start and finish them within the month of December. It was more I wanted to start them in the month of December and get them going to where they're mostly done. And if I finish them in January, like, that's fine. And that's kind of what I figured would happen, because I knew that I wanted to make socks for my family, and I wasn't expecting to get bit by the sleeve knitting bug. I mean, whoever does get bit by the sleeve knitting bug, I don't know. I mean, apparently I did. So be careful, it might happen to you too. Especially if you knit the Ochre Moss sweater, because those sleeves are so fast. So I decided, because I got on this sleeve knitting kick, to cast on another nurtured sweater. So here are my sleeves of my nurtured, and look, hey, I know my colors, right? These sleeves are so squishy and soft. I love the texture of the nurtured sweater. This sweater also has a similar construction to the Ochre Moss, where you knit the sleeves, then it's bottom up, attach the sleeves, and then you decrease for the yoke. So I'm really thrilled. I actually it's kind of funny because I made my first nurtured sweater. Let me see if I can show you. My first nurtured sweater I made for actually last year at the holidays. My nurtured sweater last year was my my anniversary cast on. And so the Ochre Moss sweater this year was my anniversary cast on. My wedding anniversary is on December 14th. So these two sweaters have a very special place in my heart. And I think there's got to be something to this time of year and me being drawn to these two particular patterns. I think just the ease of knitting them, they're engaging yet meditative. I like the construction, actually, of knitting the sleeves first and then having this magical process of knitting a sweater bottom up and then trying it on and hoping it works out and fits, which it does if you do hit gauge. So I don't know, maybe the nurtured, I was actually thinking about that. I was knitting away on my sleeve just yesterday. I was like, maybe this is my new like holiday end of year tradition, is to knit a nurtured sweater every year, because I know that I want to knit a beige one at some point. I just think that that would be such a great versatile wardrobe piece, and I I definitely want it as a part of my wardrobe someday. I'm not in a rush for it, but yeah, so I'm kind of thinking next year that that's what I'll do, is make a beige one. So this is the, oh, sorry about the glare. This is my nurtured sweater that I made. Here, let's go. Oh, there we go. This is the nurture sweater I made last year, and it's made out of Trine and by Spin Cycle Yarns. I think it's Trine number 14, and it is one of my most worn sweaters in the colder months. And so that's kind of another reason why I wanted to make a second one. And I did want to talk about this yarn. I'm sorry, like I'm a little all over the place today. So this yarn is very special. It's called Cultivate, and it's small batch wool from the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia, I believe. Virginia, North Carolina, in that area. Idlewild Clay is who dyes this. She sources the wool from a local farm, and it's Rambouillet and Merino worsted weight, 220 yards per 100 grams. So I have just enough to make another nurtured sweater with this. So I'm excited, it's in progress. I can't believe it. So basically my plan with that, because that was a total impromptu, I just wanted it something that brings me joy. I mean, how can you not feel happy knitting with like golden yarn? The color's just so pretty. I mean, see, so pretty. So my plan is basically just knock out the sleeves, and then I'm gonna just set it down until I am ready to knit the body. And that may be sometime in January, sometime in February, who knows? But basically having the sleeves done, whenever I pick up the project again to cast on the body, I'm just gonna have the body and the yoke and collar left, kind of the more well-known fun part of a sweater, right? Most people, sleeve knitting, I think, is a pretty personal process, or yeah, I mean, some people have really strong feelings about sleeve knitting, and Sleeve Island is definitely a thing. So I've heard a lot of people say they don't like knitting sleeves, and I have different feelings about it. Most of the time I really enjoy sleeve knitting. I use 9-inch circulars to knit my sleeves. I have knit some of my sleeves 2 at a time. I do think that for me, knitting sleeves 1 at a time with the 9-inch circulars is faster. I just am more proficient doing that because I haven't had a lot of practice knitting 2 at a time. But yeah, most of the time I find a lot of joy knitting sleeves. They seem to go really quick compared to the rest of the sweater. But there are also times where I can hit a roadblock in the middle of a sleeve and feel like, oh my God, this is taking forever. Why is this taking so long? So, anywho, how do you feel about sleeve knitting, and what method is your sleeve knitting choice? Because there's a few different ones out there. So I would be curious to hear. Please share in the comments, if you have strong feelings about sleeve knitting, whether they're good or bad. I would love to hear them. And also I'd love to hear what your preferred method is for knitting sleeves. Maybe you will be hit by the sleeve knitting bug next. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, the other thing that I've been knitting a lot and finding a lot of joy knitting is socks. I've been knitting all the socks. So I'm gonna start with my December must make is the Viadava Memory Socks. by Jeanette Knits. And look how pretty this cable design is. Jeanette is a genius. Oh, I just love them. I love them so much. And here, so you can see the textured. They're all over. I mean, if you check out Jeanette on Instagram, I'm going to link to the patterns that I mentioned in the episode today in the show notes. So check out the pattern on Ravelry. She's got tons of pictures of her socks, but also other tester versions. You can knit these a little shorter. I'm choosing to do the longer version because I wanted to show all the cables. I'm using Bear Paw Sock in Daddy State of Mind, and this color is to die for. It's going to be a great neutral pair of socks that I will wear with everything. So I am just at the heel gusset portion of the sock, and so I put these down because I wanted to get to my ochre moss, and then I got hit by the sleeve knitting bug, and we all know how that story goes. So I've put these down for a little while, but I am going to pick them back up, especially kind of the last few days of the year and into the new year. So I can't wait to have these as part of my wardrobe. I'm so excited. So yeah, then the other socks that I have been knitting, I've been knitting the Bear Paw socks by Andrea Mowry for my family. And I have finished Ella's little Bear Paw socks. These are definitely Ella's colors. Okay, she picked them out. This is the Farmer's Daughter Fibers Indigenous Collective yarn. It was from her Indigenous Collective subscription. And it's actually Moon Sisters, so there's a little bit of sparkle in there. I don't think that that's really picking up on camera, but Ella has a little bit of sparkle everywhere she goes. So I definitely thought Moon Sisters would be a great choice for her. And then this purple yarn is For the Love of Dolly, from her sock yarn subscription, when she did that probably a couple years ago, like that was either 2021 or 2022 sometime. It was a while ago, but hey, they turned out really cute, and she's like, they fit her really well. I love the way the 2x2 rib fits the foot really well. I mean, this is a great design to make sure that you get a good fit around your foot, and a very comfortable wearing sock because there's lots of stretch, so you don't have to worry about kind of tightness of getting it over your ankle or anything like that. And so for kids, I'm here for it. So this is my daughter's pair. And then I started my son's pair. Oh, everything's getting tangled. Da, da, da. Here we go. So I started my son's pair, and I need to get back to these, but his are with Everything's Copacetic Bear Paw sock held double, and I'm gonna do his solid color. So no marling, no striping, because I don't know, that just made me think more of Howie. So there's his, and I'm gonna make myself a pair eventually. This will be a future me project sometime in January or into early February. I want to make a pair of Bear Paw DK socks out of Ranch Romance DK, Bear Paw DK. So then this is my husband's pair. I started his last year, and I did cast these on 2 at a time, and my gauge has definitely changed in a year. I'm a tighter knitter now. So these are on 3.25 millimeter needles. Oh God. In a US size, that's a 3, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So a size 3 needle, the pattern calls for a size 4. I will have to take these off and go up to a size 4 now. I think I've tightened up over the past year, a little bit more tense, I don't know. So yeah, but these are his colors. They're both bear paw sock marled together, this beautiful kind of like lilac grayish purple color with a rusty red. Kind of an unexpected match to go together, but they really are beautiful. And they're so soft and squishy. So originally my plan was to have everyone's socks done by Christmas, and this was hence the existential crisis of me like, I gotta get all these socks done, blah, 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 and my friend being like, Alicia, chill out. And I was like, yeah, you know, you're right. So my loose plan now is that I will finish my son's socks by Christmas. That's no problem at all. He's got tiny little feet and those socks go really fast. So I'm going to finish his, and I will leisurely work on my husband's socks and my socks as the holidays continue to progress. So it's fine. They'll get done and they'll get worn. My husband also has a birthday in January, so I can kind of kick the can down the road and just say, hey, here's your birthday present. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. I mean, bottom line is I would rather slow down and alleviate that pressure for myself and really enjoy the Christmas holiday with my kids and my husband, rather than feeling like, oh my God, I gotta pull an all-nighter to get these things done, or I need to spend all day knitting. I can't go outside and play and, you know, or build a fort and have a tea party. You know, I just would rather do those things. So yeah, here we are. My last project to share with you is the socks. These are in the, well, I guess, you know, they'll be worn like this. So here we go. These are in the FDF Pom Pom magazine edition that released this fall, and I absolutely love these socks. I love the meaning behind them just as much as I have enjoyed knitting these socks. And actually, I am using Sock Squad yarn from December of 2022. This is called Dirty Swallow, this combo of, you know, the main color and the red, and then I used a navy that I had as from another mini skein from Sock Squad, also from 2022. So yeah, I love the way that this is knitting up, and I felt like, I don't know, I was gravitating towards this color combo for the socks because I liked the red for the heart. It makes me think of my dad, who had heart surgery in 2012. And so it's just kind of like a nice homage to, you know, my connection with him and my love and relationship with my dad. And yeah, and just the meaning of the socks and the pattern, they were designed with the wedding basket motif, which is a Navajo tradition. And I also, you know, there's 4 repeats of the hearts, so 2 and 2. And being New Mexican, the Zuni Pueblo natives hold the number 4 sacred. 4 shows up in nature in a number of ways, through the, and it's a part of the Zia sun symbol, which is on the New Mexico state flag. I also have the Zia symbol tattooed on my shoulder. It is the 4 cardinal directions the 4 seasons of the year, the 4 times of day, and um, the 4 stages of the lifespan. I'll put a link to the Zia symbol and its meaning in the show notes. I think, you know, that would do it more justice than me trying to tell the story now. But yeah, like I love the meaning and the connection that all the different connections I'm having as I'm knitting these little socks. That's just been a joy. And right now I am on just like this, I'm adding length in stockinette until I get to the heel gusset and heel turn. So these should really be a breeze now. And yeah, I can't wait to finish these up. So I am hosting a very, very casual knit along. If you do have a copy of the Pom Pom magazine that Candace edited, then you're welcome to join. I think the patterns are now all available on Ravelry too. You can at least view them on there. So if you check out any of the patterns and you're interested in knitting any of them, please send me a message on Instagram or leave a comment on this episode, and I would love to get in touch with you so you can be added to our make along group for this magazine. There's literally no rules. You can use any yarn you want, make any project you want. I guess the only rule is that you make a project from the magazine, and that's it. You can make whatever you want though, and as many projects as you want. So we basically are making our way through the magazine through the end of February. And so if you follow me on Instagram, I will be sharing some more about that knit along there too. So, and all of that information will be in the show notes. So, OMG, is that all of my knitting projects? That's enough, isn't it? I do have some other things I'm knitting on too, but obviously, more whips than there is time to share. So I thought to wrap up, I would, as Christmas is approaching in a few days, my message to you is to honestly just give yourself permission to do whatever it is that brings joy to your life. If that is sitting and knitting all day, then great. If that's playing with your kids outside, great. If that's going out for a run by yourself, or going for a walk and knitting, reading a book, having a cup of tea, taking a bubble bath, doing no making at all, giving yourself permission to totally cut free and do nothing except for connect with your family and friends and just soak in all of the relationship time that you can. I am here to tell you, you are free to do whatever makes your heart sing. And I really, if you take nothing else away from this video, that's the one thing that I hope that you take away is I empower you to create your own experience and find your joy through the Christmas holiday and beyond. And hopefully that can buoy you up into the new year. A couple of things that I've been doing besides knitting and the little bit of sewing I've been doing is I picked up and started reading The Power of Now. No, not The Power of Now, off the Eckhart Tolle. He's written The Power of Now. I've read that one and love it. This is A New Earth, and I've been listening to it on Audible, but also reading in here too, and I love to annotate and underline and add my own thoughts. So I've been doing that while I knit some, but also while I'm out for a walk, I've been listening, and it's really just been very grounding. So yeah, I hope that you have something like that in your life, whether it's making or reading or whatever. And then the last thing I wanted to share that I've been doing was, I guess I like to think that I'm not a very like traditional kind of person, or a person that has traditions, right? That's probably the better way to say it. But I kind of have unknowingly created a tradition with my kids. We have been making little Christmas ornaments together every year. This is our little Christmas ornaments we made this year. We make a bunch and we give them to, these are gifts for our neighbors, as well as we hang, the ones that we have left over and that we've made on our tree. So we made a little army of reindeer today. Look how cute they are. These are just little craft kits from Oriental Trading that I got, and they turned out so fun. Yeah. So we had a blast making those today, and I thought I would show you the years past. So last year we made a bunch of like Christmas trees with buttons and glitter, all kinds of stuff. I mean, Ella really liked the glitter. And then the year before, we made these little snowmen. He's lost an eyeball. He's been very well loved. And this is the very first one that Ella and I made together and we gave to our neighbors. And I was pregnant with Howie this year. So, yeah, that's our little Christmas tradition. And I think I've started another with knitting and nurtured at Christmas time. So here we go. So yeah, that's all I have to share with you today. I hope that you find joy over the next few days and through Christmas. And next week, I plan on being back with some general approaches and intentions for 2024. I am not a really big goal setter, but I love systems and I love intentions because they're flexible, and when I inevitably break them or go off course, I can just bring myself right back and get back on track. So I plan on sharing some of those with you next week, and as well as, ways that you can come up with your own intentions. So stay tuned for that, and I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas if you celebrate, and I will see you again soon. Bye.